back in the Beetle today because there's a little bit of a stale kind of smell coming from the vents when the AC's on. It could be a couple things, and so what I've been researching and heard is it could be something like a mold or mildew or fungus or something on the evaporator core. And so there's a way to clean that, which I'm going to try today. First, we have to locate the drain plug for the evaporator core. And I'm going to use some cleaner on it. So, okay. I'm pretty sure it's back in there somewhere. So let's take this off. It's like an engine shroud, it just kind of pops off. And I think it's that little square part way down there on the firewall. So let me see what I can do to get access to that. Better safe than sorry, huh? This is the stuff I'm using. Kool-It Evaporator and Heater Foam Cleaner. And the directions on it, it's pretty much just, it says the preferred application method is through the AC drain. Okay, so that's what I want to find here. Here's our resident Daisy Duck coming in to get some duck food. So if you're hearing that, after a while, that's what it is. It's just our neighborhood duck coming in. Okay, so AC drain 12-1. Okay, so that's the one right there. Says remove the plug from the firewall heat shield and check that the evaporator housing drain flap is clear of any blockage. The view here is from below the engine looking up. Okay, so if I'm below the engine looking up, below the engine looking up, I would say it's got to be this one here, because this one is like the one that's closer to where I think the heater core and everything is inside the car. They don't make it easy. The flap off. There's stuff underneath it. I'm probably going to need a screwdriver. Hang on a minute. Okay, so far as I can determine, I was thinking there was a drain like a hose, you know, like on most cars. But of course there's not on this car. So apparently this is the drain. There's a little flap on the firewall. This is like the passenger side of the car right here. Let's zoom out. And it's just back here behind all this stuff. You can't get it from the top. You have to go underneath and you have to raise the car up. I got mine on some ramps. But you pry this flap open and just use a little screwdriver. It's just like a little insulation firewall flap. And underneath it there's a rubber, like a rubber plug. And apparently you're supposed to pull that out. Get it in there. You're supposed to pull that out, and then a bunch of whatever water's in there, if it's plugged up, will come out. I guess what it does is it runs down inside a frame rail and then drips out somewhere. Because I turned the air on for a while to try and like see where it was dripping out from underneath the car. And I let it run for like 15 minutes or so, and I never saw anything drip out. So I did a little more research, and apparently this is the spot. So I'm gonna go underneath here. And to let the car cool down a little bit. So you don't want to burn yourself, you know, if you just had it on. This is underneath the car, passenger side. They don't make it easy. I mean, it does not want to come out, really. There's the plug. Kind of turned around and got underneath it the other way, and it's like halfway off. It's just it's hard to get a grip on it, you know, to pull it off. And now I'm wondering, man, how hard is it gonna be to put it back in once I get it off? I think it'll be easier to put it back in, but you never know. Okay, here's the situation. I couldn't get the rubber plug off. I got it about halfway off, and then I started thinking, man, this is so hard to get off. Am I gonna have like a terrible time getting it back on? And basically I decided, yeah, it probably was gonna be terrible to get it back on. And so I decided right then, let's do this a different way. And so I put the plug back in. It was like halfway out. I put it back in, and that was pretty difficult. I got almost to the point of giving up on just getting it back in there. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't go all the way with that. I think maybe if you had a lift and you could get the car all the way up in the air where you could get some leverage, you know, it might be a little easier. But okay, so let's take it off the stands, and we'll go to plan B. All right, plan B. So now we're gonna go through. I was watching advertisement from the Kool-It cleaner that I'm gonna use, and they said that you could actually go put it through the cabin filter inlet. So that's, since I can't get the plug off the bottom, that's the plan now. up. This comes off. Then you got a couple screws to undo. And there's like the little star pattern. And the star pattern T20s. This just kind of comes out. You lift it up, it pulls out. There's a little plug in here for the speaker. There you go. Now we got this out. I'm gonna take this panel out right here. Just had this foam that was stuck all around, kind of stuck in kind of hard. You can see this is the cabin air filter. It's kind of dirty with some leaves and stuff. It's got these two clips. Push back. And then you can pull this all out. Try not to dump all the leaves inside. And then we're gonna vacuum all this stuff out. Okay, so this is pretty dirty actually. So I just ordered a new one. Be here tomorrow from Amazon. It's like $10, so I didn't realize it'd been a few years since I changed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that too. Okay, now that we've got the cabin filter itself out, we got to take this panel out right here. There's a couple of little nuts here and here, and 10mm. There's one. Once you got those little nuts off, it's just a matter of pulling it loose, and it's kind of stuck on there with some, you know, little sealant stuff. Kind of dirty, so we'll clean all that off. We gotta clean all this out. I gotta vacuum all this out first because we got like a bunch of leaves and stuff in there. So let's clean all that out first before we go any further. Okay, I was thinking that this would come out. This part would come out when I took this cover off, but it doesn't look that way. But anyway, I got to clean out all the leaves and stuff that were around it. I guess the next thing to do, I could feel that this is where the blower motor is, because I can barely put my finger down in this slot here and it can feel the fan itself inside there. Make sure you don't have the car on when you put your hand in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snake that line in down there as far as I can, and I'm just going to try it, because I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to gain any kind of access to this. This is the brand that I'm going to use. It's just called Kool-It. Kool-It. Comes with this hose. It's got like a plastic tip on one side and then the nozzle on the other. So first thing I'm going to do is try to snake this in here. Exactly where that's all going, but anyway, I got it in. It's probably as far as I can get it. But still attaching it. And you're supposed to shake this up really good. Basically, you shake it up, put the hose on it, and then use like the whole can. Spray like the whole can in there, and then let it sit 15 minutes. And then you start the car, put the AC fan on the low setting and let it run for 5 minutes, and the foam is supposed to like drain out. I think that's pretty good. Okay, put this in here. Spraying it. And it just took a few seconds to actually put the whole can in there. And that's it. We're done at this. So, pull this off. Get rid of this. Let's pull this out. Okay. So I'll put this back in the box. I'm going to go wash my hands. And I'll wait 15 minutes and then I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. Now the directions say turn the car on and with the AC fan on low setting. And let it run for 5 minutes. Put this AC low, and it's on inside air. It's on cool. It's blowing out. Okay, it's been starting to run a couple minutes already. The stuff is dripping out like it's supposed to. In fact, I think I'm going to grab a little drain bucket real quick. Still draining a little bit. I might let it run a couple more minutes. Let's check out the air. It smells good. It's nice and cool. I just put some Kool-It, some Freon in it. the other day too. And I mean, as far as I can tell, it smells good. Okay, so we got to put all this stuff back together. We'll give it maybe like another minute running, and then we'll start putting everything back together. I got a new filter. I'm gonna put that in. Shouldn't be too bad putting it back in, but anyway, I guess that's the way to do it in this car, the easier way. You know, it didn't take too long to do it. I think it's easier than trying to take that plug out, because if you take that plug out, it's in there pretty tight. Like I said, maybe if you were up on a lift, you might be able to get better leverage to get it out and get it back in. But I mean, for the average person at home, with just like putting it on some ramps or jack stands or something, it seemed pretty tough. Okay, check back. So over here, got that all in. Now we gotta look. There's 3 tabs on the back of this thing, and there's 3 tabs on the back of this side. So that's the side that goes in. Sometimes we gotta like coax this in a little bit. Okay, gotta kind of slide it in this way first, this corner first, next to the door, and then it goes in pretty easy. And now we're in. Alright. Okay, next we got this part. It goes right above the filter. I put some new batting in here because the other stuff just kind of was turned to dust, getting dirty everywhere. It was pretty easy. I just took this part off. I took all the white part that was in there and scraped it off, and then used a little spray glue on this and stuck some new batting on, and then put the little spring washers back in. So now we just gotta fit this in. I think it goes like this. And we got a bunch of bolts to put back in. Make sure you keep this out, the wire for the speaker. That's it. Just gotta put all the bolts back in. Okay. We got this piece, and hook the speaker up. And it just mostly clips in. It's got two little screws on the side. We got that plugged in, and that kind of fits in. These little parts slide in the end here, and it's got these clips around it. Clips it in. So you just gotta kind of maneuver it in place. Just kind of smacks down in place. 2 more screws here. Little spring washers in them.
piece. Okay, so I got it all back together. Turn the air on. It's nice and fresh. It's almost got like a peppermint kind of smell to it. So I think that worked out pretty good. It didn't take too long, you know, it wasn't too bad. So I got this off Amazon. Kool-It. It seemed to work pretty good. Probably do it again here. You know, if it ever happens again, the smell comes back. Other than that, I think it was a success. Nice and clean, fresh air. Okay, we'll see you on the next one. There's another little thing to fix. There's always something to fix on this thing.